Hey everybody, welcome to Morph Girl. This is a Japanese horror-inspired FMV game, so it's not a Japanese horror game, but it's inspired by Japanese horror. Yeah, let's just jump in. Boop. Morph Girl does not autosave. Okay. When visible, use the cogwheel icon to save, load, or quit the game. Remember to save frequently and prior to important events or decisions. Load these save files should you wish to revisit them. So I hear this game has like 6 different endings, I believe. I think. I love the VHS aesthetic. I love it. Monday. Here, let me tell Max to turn the TV down. All right, did John play this? I don't know. So there we go. I was like, what the fuck? Girl, I know. Waking up sucks. So I'm assuming there's a long loading time because it's a movie. So they had to load in the movie or something. So based on these plugs, like wall plugs, it seems like it's based in the UK. Do I click it or no? Ah, there we go. Okay, there's the, oh, it's like the instant coffee. Ew, gross. Instant coffee is disgusting. If you like it, then you're a disgusting person. She has a Super Nintendo. Can I play that? Nope, okay. Man, she is despondent as fuck. Also, how's the audio? Do I need to turn it up a little bit, or are we good? Audio's good? Cool. So she's wearing a wedding ring, so does that mean she's married? Or did he die under mysterious circumstances? I wonder when we're gonna evolve past like keyboard and mouse as inputs for a computer. Like, I wonder when that's like no longer gonna be the standard. Control, Alt, Delete. other inputs could there be? There could be like direct brain inputs. There could be thought inputs. There could be VR input. I don't know. I feel like am I missing something? Am I supposed to click? There we go. Like, I'm not sure, so sometimes in FMVs, I'm not sure when I'm supposed to do input or when the game is just like being cinematic. I want to play that Super Nintendo. It's like right now, like, am I supposed to click on something? Usually like an icon will change. But right now I think it's just like building up like how monotonous our life is, I guess. Pull my screen up a little bit. I mean, I'm like... hold on. It's been 5 months since Rebecca was diagnosed. Breathing is becoming difficult for her. Movement is almost an Herculean task now. While the doctors say that we still have options, Rebecca is beginning to refuse further treatment. She wants to travel. There we go. Let me flash this. Boop, boop. So she wants to travel, huh? She wants to travel the world before she dies. See all that she can while she can. She's giving up. I don't want her to. She's tired. Too tired for optimism. Too tired for treatment. She's tired of living. Damn, dog. We argue constantly over the continuation of her treatment. She only has months left if she doesn't. She's getting visibly weaker with every passing day. She can barely walk, let alone travel the world. It would kill her. Rebecca knows all of this. She doesn't want to be miserable anymore. She wants the both of us to spend the rest of her life in some exotic country to elope from her treatment with money we do not have. With time she does not have. Lie to Rebecca or beg for treatment. Can I save? Is it too early to already save? Alright, so people that are watching on YouTube, I'm playing this on Twitch right now. You should follow me, twitch.tv/MrKravin. I do 5 streams a week. So I'm gonna let chat pick some of these. Some. I'm saying like very few of these I'll let chat pick. So chat, what do you think? I've already seen some lie. Let's see what they say. Lie, lie, lie. Everybody says beg, or lie. Everybody's saying lie, so lie to Rebecca. I tell Rebecca that we can go wherever she wants. I say we can afford it. When she gets better, we will go traveling. But right now, she needs something to look forward to. Anything to be happy about. Rebecca's initially enthusiastic, talking and incessantly discussing where and when we might go. Eventually, she stops. Weeks go by. We don't go anywhere. She realizes that we can't actually afford it. That I wouldn't let her go if we could. She realizes that I lied to her. I never see her happy again. Great. Great. We pissed off the dying girl. God damn it. Just a few days until the anniversary of Rebecca's death. Fuck! God damn it! I'm not ready for it. Here, let me shrink my... Ooh, Tuesday. Every day goes by the same as the last. Oh, so this is... Is this homegirl's, like, girlfriend? I don't know if it's guilt, loyalty, or just fear that compels me to stay put. How could I have happiness when I denied her the same? This is already like... this is already rough. It's already punching me in the gut. Here, I might move this over a little bit, like that, and then make my face cam normal size. Boop. Make myself look thinner, like this. There we go. All right, Rebecca wants me to read her some book. Rebecca wants me to read some of her books, on account that I never have before. I've always condemned her choice to focus on writing as opposed to pursuing legitimate employment. Her writing has always been a source of major contention between us. So wait, if that was our girlfriend, then we won't read our own girlfriend's work? Like her books, her writing? That's rude. She wants to know what I think of it before it's no longer possible. I don't know what to say. She's desperate for me to read it, despite prior altercations. This makes me feel angry and a little bit guilty. Despite everything, she still insists that her writing career is important to her. The very pursuit that has jeopardized our home, financial security, and our marriage for years. I don't want to encourage her, but it's our passion. I will read your books. I told Rebecca that I will read it. It's a collection of short horror stories. I finished them all in just a few days. They're good, really good. Rebecca's university grades were relatively poor, but she was always highly regarded for her fiction writing. She's really talented. I feel guilty. Hold on, I see one more thing I have to change about the game capture. I think that should fix it. I hope. If not, then I'll fix it again. Only now that she's dying, have I even bothered to read any of her work. All these years, I've kept Rebecca from her writing aspirations, and now she really may never reach them. When she asked if I'd read it, I'm too embarrassed, ashamed to admit any of this to her. I tell her that I've been too busy. She never asks again. Fucking Jesus. Often think that I would do anything to get Rebecca back. Would I? Wednesday. I refuse to get on with my life, and yet I still expect it to change. It's almost as though I were waiting for something. been 2 months since the diagnosis. Rebecca's exhausted from chemotherapy. Okay, so this is like a jump back in time. Sick of both the side effects and its administration. She doesn't like her doctor or any of her nurses. She hates the hospital and is very outspoken about how much she doesn't want to be around real cancer patients. Rebecca doesn't want to feel unable. She's restless and is very much in denial. It's Friday night. Rebecca wants to go out with her friends. I tell her that I don't think it's a good idea for her to be exerting herself so soon after therapy. I need this, she says. I'm scared that this will be too much for Rebecca, but I can't keep her from living her life. So I let her go. I tell Rebecca to have fun. I worry all night, but refrain from calling. At around midnight, Rebecca comes home early. I pretend to be asleep. She's wheezing. In the morning, I ask Rebecca about her night. She says that it was a little too much for her, but she's glad she went. Thank you. That fucking alarm. Every time that alarm goes off, I want to lose my goddamn mind. I fucking want to lose it. Ooh. So that was my first save chance. What is that? I can see something by the bath plug. Is something leaking? It doesn't look like water. Should I go in? Already? Here, let me fix this a little bit. There we go. Do it, go in. It's very thick in consistency, almost as though it's oozing out of the plumbing as opposed to dripping or leaking. It looks black. Or maybe red. I don't know. There you go. Now you can read the... Here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna drag this right there. Okay. I don't know what it could be. Seems to be coming out the shower head. Oh, shit. Don't put your face under it, stupid. No! Idiot. I don't know what was in the bath, but whatever it was, or whatever it is, I need to forget about it. Also, give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hell nah. All right, I can't think about this right now. So I'm trying to like get back into the mood of it. Not this week. I have some time before I leave work. I can collect myself in the living room. I can pretend that everything is all right. It isn't. Okay, here we go. Let's look at photos. Photos of me and Rebecca on the day we moved in. Probably shouldn't have moved into a house with such an expensive rent. Rebecca wouldn't stop talking about kids. Oh. Rebecca was set on living in the city. Though Rebecca was set on living in the city, she also thought we needed the extra space. I like all the video games and movies up there. I think we would have been good parents. Okay, let's look at the notebook. It's one of the notebooks Rebecca used to write her stories in. Come with us, page 1. All right. Am I gonna read all this? Because this is a lot of writing. Fuck, do I have to read all this? All right, here, I'll just start. Come with us, page 1. Typical. What's the best way Jane could have described the night? That's the best way Jane could have described the night. The moon was out, lighting the room in a dull, familiar glow. The air was still, peaceful. It was the perfect conditions for sleeping. Many would agree with her, except the typical night had been disturbed in the most atypical way Jane could ever have imagined. Jane squirmed in the corner of her bed. She pressed herself against the headboard in the wall, hugging her knees. Most of all, she was trembling. It wasn't every night that you wake to find an expressionless child standing at the end of your bed, after all. The main question on Jane's mind was why? Why her? Why tonight? Why a child? Jane had never thought of herself as particularly special. Surely this only happened to those who warranted it. The weird and wonderful. Not someone like her. Normal. That's the best way Jane could describe herself. Her name was Jane Audrey Phillips. Named after 2 grandmothers, naturally. She had brown, shoulder-length hair. It was practical. Brown eyes like her father. She wasn't particularly tall, neither particularly short. She did well at school. It led to a job that paid her bills. She neither liked her job nor did she dislike it. She had often thought that she was a very neutral person. She didn't think much of anything. Not that she wasn't happy. She was, in a calm, contented way. She got on with things. Much like herself. The day could also be described as normal. She woke 3 minutes before her alarm, as she usually did, ate a reluctant breakfast, and headed to work. Work was average. Papers needed filling, reports needed writing, minimal conversation with a sticky R key on her laptop. Returning home, leftovers for dinner, calling her mom. It was the routine she'd had for years. She went to bed on time and fell asleep in a timely manner. Nothing indicated anything odd should happen to her at all. And yet, the child stood at the end of her bed in her room. It was a girl. It was wearing a white nightgown reminiscent of times far gone. It had long, unwavering dark hair. Its face was pale and eyes were dark. It made Jane uncomfortable to think of the strange specter as a girl, so she didn't. A young girl wouldn't find herself in a stranger's room in the middle of the night. This was not a young girl. That was all Jane could figure out. The woman had already tried asking it for information, but it wouldn't speak. What? I don't understand that sentence. The woman had already tried asking it for information, but it wouldn't speak. So the woman is Jane. Okay. It didn't react at all. It just stared at her. There was a chill on her spine, and she was desperately trying to ignore. Almost as if someone was slowly dragging an icicle up her back. She pressed herself harder against the wall. The sensation didn't cease. Finally, the child parted its pale lips. Though this was the outcome Jane was hoping for, somehow, it only terrified her more. She shrunk further into the bed. She was shivering. Come with us. Jane sucked in her breath as the child spoke. Its voice was small and soft. It sounded like a little girl. It almost left Jane less afraid. Almost. But the eyes were so dark, and the stare was so intense. Jane desperately wanted to look away, or close her eyes, but she daren't. I hate that word, daren't. I hate that word. But she dares not. The woman was terrified if she broke her eye contact. Why does she keep saying the woman? Why didn't she just stick with Jane? The woman. That's so weird. That's such a weird thing to say. The woman was terrified if she broke eye contact. The child would do something. She couldn't know what. The unease only grew. The child's face remained blank as it stared, though its head tilted to the side. It was almost cute. Only almost. Jane suddenly realized it was waiting for a response. The woman released the breath she didn't realize she was holding. Where? Her voice wobbled as she spoke, her left lip trembling. The child shook its head, its dark hair shuffling on its chest. Come with us. It's fucking awesome. All right, let's look at films. It's Rebecca's collection of horror movies. Well, some of them. Okay.
Let me die. Let me die.
The brain that wouldn't die. I used to like this one. The film's about a mad scientist who manages to keep a woman's severed head alive for several days. The woman begs for him to let her die. Unsurprisingly, I no longer care for it. Interesting. Please finish report by end of tomorrow. Maybe you'll be happier working somewhere else. Fucking rude. Passive-aggressive comments certainly are uncommon around here. But I think I can put this report off. I don't think I can put this report off any longer. I'll do the bulk of the work tomorrow. I can't do this right now. Holy shit, what? I used to take comfort in working here after Rebecca's death. I could pretend that she wasn't home waiting for me, just like before. A small part of me really believed that she would be. I liked her face. I don't know what I'd do if I walked into one of my bathrooms and saw that like a tub was filled with blood. I might kind of freak out. Whatever's leaking has now completely filled the bath. It looks like blood. I need to call someone over to fix this. I don't want to. I don't have to deal with any of this. I can't deal with this. Not today. Not this week. Not anymore. What's this? Let's call someone. I tell them about the bath, how it looks like it's filled with blood. As expected, they don't believe me. They can't send anybody over until Monday. And I'm expected to live with a bath full of this for 3 days? Great. Really? Come on. Whew. Sorry, I hope you guys can't hear Danny. She's freaking out. She's pissed. Yeah, you can see the volume meter up on my mic jumping as she freaks out. Becca always insisted on living in the city. It's expensive. We could only afford a small house. It's overpriced, ugly, and the landlord is a bitch. Were we to live anywhere else, this place would be a fraction of the rent. I like how they crossed out the we. I can't stand that shit. Like, the I pay for it. I pay for this. I do this. I can't stand that shit in a relationship. I got us somewhere bigger. Maybe then we can afford Rebecca's, what Rebecca needs for recovery. I can get us somewhere big. Okay. I want to move. Making sure that Rebecca gets better as fast as possible is more important to me. Rebecca insists that we stay. She says that the city is our home, and she doesn't want to leave our memories behind. It's a terrible place. We could save money. I mean, she's dying, and she likes this place, so I figure let her stay? I reluctantly let her stay. She insists that she'll recover without the extra equipment. We spend the evening reminiscing about the horrible state that the house was on the day we first moved in. Rebecca did a really good job on it. She's proud. We get an urgent call about test results that day. Rebecca plays our wedding music in the car as we drive to the hospital. She sings along very loudly. She's trying to be positive. She's trying to make me smile. It's not good news. She's dying. It's terminal. I can't smile anymore. Friday. Nani the fuck? I like what she's wearing. She looks cute. Okay. Save slot. I heard something break in the kitchen. Is somebody in there? I don't have time for any of this. I'm already late for work, and if I don't finish the report today, I could lose my job. Honestly, I'd rather be burgled. Should I go in? Alright. This is chat number 2. Chat, what should we do? Should we go in or leave? And finish our TPS report or some shit. That's a resounding go in. There's nothing here. I was sure that I heard something break in there, or break in here, but nothing seems to be out of place. Maybe it was nothing? Aww. Me and Rebecca used to write notes for each other. She used to leave them so that I would see them before I left for work. Is this some kind of joke? This isn't funny. Only someone who knows enough about me and Rebecca would do something so personal. Even the handwriting looks like Rebecca's. I'm so late for work. I'm gonna assume that block of wood was like a doorstop. She doesn't lock her front door, and that kind of bothers me. Hello? Nothing. Nobody seems to be there. I guess I'll hang up? Also, she's not doing a proper finger placement for typing without looking. That's my home phone number. Is somebody really inside my house? Are they really calling me from my own home? Sure, this has to be some kind of joke. I shouldn't answer it. They've broken into my home. I still really need to finish this report by the end of the day. But then maybe I should answer it? I have no idea who this person is, or why they might be calling. Who knows who it could be? Who knows who it could be? I'm gonna answer. I ain't no punk. Heavy breathing. Strained, raspy, and painful breathing from what sounds like a woman. It's absolutely horrifying. It sounds so painfully familiar, so reminiscent of Rebecca's breathing over the last couple months of her life, just as the cancer had begun to spread to her lungs. Who could be doing this? Why are they doing this? That is great. That is fucking dumb. They shouldn't show that. Come on. Stay calm. Whoever's doing this is likely responsible for everything that happened. This is just some terrible joke. I'll just call the police, change the locks, and forget that any of this ever happened. Everything will be fine. Normal. Yeah, fucking Samara from The Ring needs to stop, you know, using my landline, using up all my, stop using up all my, my daytime minutes. They need to stop showing her. It's ruining it, alright? The figure standing in the kitchen. Despite everything, it felt like Rebecca. It isn't Rebecca. Maybe if I hide here long enough, it will leave on its own accord. I'll stay here until it does. They need to stop showing the ghost. That is literally killing this for me. I think it's so fucking funny. Rebecca's been in the hospital for a week now. She's on life support. She can no longer move or speak. She could barely breathe. We had to take her. She will never leave. The doctors say that she only has days left. She's going to die. Rebecca's in horrific pain. She frequently gestures to her life support. I know what she wants. All right, chat. Round 3. Here you go. Should we unplug Rebecca or let her suffer? I'm gonna say do it. I mean, chat said do it. That was my initial response too, was do it. I pull Rebecca's life support. Rebecca flatlines less than a minute later. It's what she wanted. But it isn't what I wanted. If I were to refuse, she would only spend her remaining days in agony, waiting to die. But there's so much I wanted to say. So much I should have said to her. Her friends, her family. They never even got to say goodbye. I took that from them. I panicked. And now she's gone. You killed her. Shit. Sorry, bro. My bad. Saturday.
Now, in itself, it will not inflate the wound. Same is true with squid. Now, both creatures have a parrot-like beak as their primary offensive and defensive weapon. Maybe the sheriff was right there.
So when they don't show her, the ghost, it's fucking great. I think this is great. This is fantastic. But as soon as they show her, I'm like, ha! Ha ha!
You know, I was looking to think Lem was telling the truth in Walker's store. He did see something that night. Something that had intelligence enough to seek him out and destroy him later.
Sawyer claims to have killed the thing he saw, put a half a dozen rifle bullets into it. I've seen that all.
Alright, let's look at the bills. Look at the bills. Overdue rent. Rebecca's always too focused on her writing to consider employment. We managed. Until I was demoted.
I've seen that all.
Okay, so she wasn't actually a writer. She just wrote. I thought she was like a writer, as in like made money from writing. Photos? It's a photograph of me and Rebecca at a party, just a few days before we'd met. I was a loner at university. I spent a lot of nights at the student bar alone, hoping that I wouldn't be. One night, I wasn't. I met Rebecca. She very quickly introduced herself to, introduced me to her circle of friends, and invited me to a party later that week. We kissed for the first time that night. Aww.
I've seen that all 4440.
Notes and nice things. All right. It's one of Rebecca's old notes. She used to write her short stories in these. If I have to read a short story again, I'm fucking out. I'm done. Fuck! Oh, this is the same one. It's the same story. I thought it was gonna be a different story. All right. All right, here we go. Afraid. It was the only emotion Jane could put into words. The child never left. She stayed by Jane's side until the terrified woman left for work. Acting normal seemed quite the task for her. Jane returned home, wishing that the child would be gone. Alas, she sat quiet as ever at the kitchen table, turning her head to Jane as she entered the room. Jane spent the day trying to ask the child questions about her name, where she was from, who she was. The woman was met with silence each time. She gave up, continued as normal. If she ignored her, she might go away. But wherever Jane went, the child followed. Wherever Jane sat, the child sat against her. Ignorance wasn't an option. When nighttime fell, the child followed her closely throughout her routine, silent and expressionless. Jane hesitantly climbed into bed. The child stood where she had done the night before, and pointed, knitting her brow once again. Carefully, Jane offered the other side of the bed to her. The child did as she wanted and lay next to the trembling woman. Jane pressed her back against the wall as the child stared at her from the pillow beside her. They stared at each other for a while before the child sighed the soft little sigh again and closed her eyes. Jane didn't dare move her gaze for what felt like hours. Though the child didn't move, her eyes remained closed, and she was softly breathing. Jane knew the child didn't eat, nor did it use the bathroom. There was very little reason to believe the child needed to sleep. Paranoid, the woman remained obstinately awake. Oh my god, this is so much reading. This is so much reading, holy shit. Whew. Jane opened her eyes quickly, breathing rapidly as she realized she had fallen asleep. The child's eyes were open, though her position had not moved. It scared Jane to wake to those dark eyes, staring back at her again. The room was still dark. Sorry, goddamn, I'm like so off. Hold on. The room was still dark. Jane desperately tried to regulate her breathing. As her eyes swept the room, she let out a small shriek. Jane scrambled to sit up in the bed, pressing her back hard against the wall. There was a second child stood at the foot of her bed, staring at her with the exact same dark eyes. The child appeared to be a boy. The hair was shorter, but just as dark and flat. It partially obscured his eyes. The child was also wearing a nightgown. They appeared to be a matching set, though they didn't acknowledge each other, only her. Jane very briefly tore her eyes away from the second child to look at the first. She was sitting now, too, but her gaze was fixed on Jane. "Come with us," they spoke in unison. The woman sucked in a breath and fought the urge to cry. She shook her head a little in response. Jane felt the first child sit closer, her hair brushing against her arm. Jane looked down. The girl was staring right at her, leaning her head against her shoulder once again. "Come with us," she spoke, her voice soft. Somehow, it calmed her. She felt herself able to breathe again. "Where?" she asked the girl. The child simply sighed and looked ahead, resting on her shoulder. Jane moved her gaze to the boy. He was staring at her. "Where?" she asked again. In response, he moved to where the girl stood the night before. Jane blinked at him and looked down at the bed. "Do you want to get on the bed too?" she asked fearfully. He did so, leaning against the girl, looking ahead as she did. All Jane could do was focus on taking breaths in and out. They sat like that until the morning.
I've seen that old 4440 used up.
Okay. TV. Attack of the Giant Leeches. That's one of Rebecca's old movies. She used to make fun of me for liking it. She said it was a really bad film. It is. Do I really want to try to watch this, or should I just leave? So awkward. Yeah, the power of public domain! I can show what I want! Yeah, I'm assuming this is all public domain. That's why they're not being sued into oblivion for showing this. Do you guys want to watch a movie together? Here, how about I go use the restroom again before we keep going, all right? Here, enjoy this movie.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Just hold it a second, Lamb. Liz? You hear me, girl?
What do you want now?
You gotta play that thing so loud. Come out like this, Bert.
Oh, don't bother me.
Liz. Someday I'm gonna give that she-cat a whopping she's been asking for.
Ah, yes. Threatened to beat the woman for not having sex with you.
I've seen that all before.
Great. That's why I don't like old movies, because they are horribly sexist and racist. All right, let's look at the diary. 2015. Elena said yes. Imagining the Caribbean sun. And sand almost makes me forget I'm dying. Ha. I'm sure I have time for Italy too. I could end up remaking the cheesy romance story I wrote in high school. Well, I could if Elena would agree. Fuck, I'm so burpy. Sorry. Okay, shake it all out. Shake all the bubbles out. All right. Romance story I wrote in high school. Well, I could if Elena would agree to that. She agreed to ditching treatment. I can't push my luck. Though treatment is a fancy term for lying in a hospital bed for even longer than I would be only to die. Wait, what? Though treatment is a fancy term for lying in a hospital bed for even longer than I would be only to die anyway? Everyone dies, right? So why not do it in style? I'd rather be dying on a beach than in a gray hospital that smells of old people and vomit. If I wasn't dying, I might write a book about some dark abandoned hospital. Well, I could, except now I'll be lying on the beach or eating fancy in Rome. Fuck it. I'll die in the hospital bed. So I tentatively asked Elena to read my stories. Well, not all of them, just the ones that I wanted to publish. I won't be able to publish them now. Oh well. She's the biggest critic I have anyways. She said she would. It makes me nervous. I don't know why. When we were studying, she used to read what I wrote, but that was school, or that was for school. After graduating and decided to write full time, she wasn't interested. Started off not having time nor interest in it. Ended up shouting at me every time I mentioned it. Clearly, dying is the exception. I've always wondered what she'll say. I'll never find out. She said she was too busy. It was about five short stories. She could have read it in the evenings that she doesn't spend with me. I know she hates seeing me like this, but she won't see me, or she won't be seeing me at all soon enough. It would be nice if she could just think about me. Oh my god, this is so much reading. My voice! My voice! Wow. That was the first night out I've had in so long. Oh, this is the aftermath of my choices so far. The usual gang asked me to go out with them for the first time in a while, since I told them I was on treatment, really. They were a bit sympathetic. They were a bit sympathetic and annoyed at first, but once alcohol kicked in, things went back to normal. I haven't been drunk in so long either. It was great. I couldn't forget about all of this shit and I could forget about all this shit and just laugh and dance and do whatever the hell I want. I got tired and a bit wheezy. Treatment really does kick you in the balls. It's funny hearing a lesbian talk about getting a kick in the balls. I always do think that's pretty funny. But I had a good time. I refused to let it bring me down. Not even for 1 second. Elena was worried. I know she was. But I appreciate her accepting my choice. I hate it whenever... So, I hate this. But I appreciate her accepting my choice. Like, I hate when a format's like that. It's so hard to read. Anyways. She doesn't always do that anymore. I think they'll ask me to join them more often now. They were so scared of it before. I think they were terrified they would break me. But they can try all they like. Life can't get rid of me that easily. Holy shit. This is so long. Guys, I can't read all this. My voice is gonna give out. Elena wants to move. Of course she does. She's been itching to get out of this place since we moved in. I had to reassure her yet again that this place is just a stepping stone. We'll be getting out of here when we can afford something better in our city. She wanted to live somewhere in the country because it was cheaper and we could get something better for our money. But life is a struggle. We should embrace the challenge. I told her that too. She doesn't like to hear it, but she listened. We love the city, or we love this city. It was always a part of our goals to live here way back when we were at university together. So why not dive in head first? Sounds like somebody that doesn't pay the bills. She knew I was right back then. She knows that it's not right to go back on it now. Oh, fuck. I'm glad. I love our shitty little house. I don't care if it comes with the fancy equipment I need to recover. I'll recover fine without it. I don't want my home being turned into a hospital. That just sounds depressing. So, I don't even know how to write this. I don't even know how to think of it. I've just been told I'm dying. They were really nice about it, but I'm dying. How does a person even process shit like that? I feel like it's not real, but I also feel so winded. I don't know what to do. You murdered me. Fuck. Oh. Wow. A preserved rose. Rebecca gave it to me on the last Valentine's Day we ever spent together. She said it will last forever, so that she can make up for all the Valentine's Days she was going to miss. It's wilting. The trinket. It's a crystal graduation bear I gave to Rebecca when she graduated. Where she had encouraged me to become more confident and outgoing, I'd pushed and tutored Rebecca to finish university. I was so proud of her that day. She was so very grateful. And the ring. It's the engagement ring that I used to propose a few weeks after we moved in together. It was a very cheap ring. We didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I was worried that she wouldn't like it. I don't think she did. Though she never would have admitted it to me. Morph, morph, morph. Here, let me go talk to Max really quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I looked at Bill's photos notebook. Let's look at... Did I look at TV already? No, I looked at table. Now let's leave. I can't imagine being in my own house and being terrified to leave. Like a room. I can't imagine that. Oh, fuck! Alright. It's waiting for me. What does it want? It hasn't done anything to me yet. It feels like Rebecca. What if it's okay? Maybe I should approach it. But then, maybe I should grab a knife from the kitchen first? Just to be safe? I'm gonna say go in. I'm gonna go in. Alright? Dabs, not stabs. Hugs, not drugs. It wasn't Rebecca. But aside from some inconsistencies in both memory and personality, its actions were almost identical to hers. And that was real enough for me. Damn, girl, you do you. What the fuck? Why is it in bed with her? Why the fuck? What'd y'all do? Are y'all scissor sisters now? What the fuck was that? What just happened? Oh, this isn't Rebecca, this is somebody else. Some transient that was in my house. Let's sleep with them. What the fuck? Does she just fuck a ghost? I moved to an affordable country house, just like I wanted. It was a nice place, somewhere comfortable where I could hide Rebecca from the world. It barely spoke and it never felt human to me. But I would go on to pretend that things were just as they were prior to Rebecca's death almost 11 months ago. Instant coffee is still disgusting, girl. You're still drinking basic garbage. Caffeinated sludge is basically what that is. My life really didn't change after Rebecca came back. I got another office job. At first, it was refreshing to be around coworkers that didn't resent me, but my life was too secretive to even make friends. I may have been the same old routine, but now I wasn't in it alone. Yo, she fucked a ghost. Alright, she either fucked a ghost or like some homeless bitch that was in her house. What the fuck? Now the ghost is doing dishes? What the fuck? What? Yeah, this game is blowing my fucking mind. This is amazing. Often felt guilty, but never guilty enough to return to my grief. Oh, bitch, now you're dying. Come with us, page 11. So I feel like I should save this. Like, I feel like it's going to give me the rest of the book once I unlock the other endings. So I'm going to save this. That's one of the endings, right? Is accepting the ghost and stuff, right? I died 11 months later. Whatever it was, our relationship was symbiotic, imitating loved ones to feed off of willing hosts to survive. As it turns out, there's only so long a person can last in such a relationship. I don't know if it was worth it, but it was easy. So I took the easy way out, apparently. Fucking amazing. This is about one of 6 ends to Elena's story. Your choices incur real consequences, significantly altering your conclusion to Morph Girl. Will you find them all? Holy shit. Oh man, all right. So I think I'm gonna make that video 1. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm gonna make that video 1, because that is fucking hilarious. No, I'll keep going. All right, let's load. It's waiting for me. All right, down the stairs. It's waiting for me. What does it want? It hasn't done anything to me yet. It feels like Rebecca. What if it's okay? Maybe I should approach it. But then, maybe I should grab a knife from the kitchen first. Just to be safe. Let's knife this bitch. Fucking hilarious. I don't know why. That killed me. The fact that like her and like that ghost became like scissor sisters and then she died from it anyways is fucking hilarious. Gotta get some of that gussy. Stop this bitch! Come on. Alright, so accept or reject. Knife the bitch. Holy shit! Oh my god! And that was the end of that. Everything would be and remain the same. Everything would return to normal. Never changing. Holy shit. Oh my god. This is fucking awesome. It's like all the cheesy horror movie cliches, like all put into one. I fucking love it. It's so good. She buried a ghost. No, apparently it's an actual person. It's like an actual entity. Or like a figment of her imagination. One of the two. It's fucking amazing. This is ridiculously hilarious. Oh, now she's sad. Come with us, page 9. All right, I'll read all this. I hope I can read all this whenever I'm done. If not, then like I'll put it in order in video and then read it for the end of the game. Will you find them all? All right, so that's ending 2 out of 6. So let's go and reject her hand without the knife. Let's load this one. It's waiting for me. All right. Let's go accept her hand. But then be like, no, bitch. Bet I'll die. Let's see about that. What's up, Samara? How you doing? Later, Hosen. What? I ran away from the thing that claimed to be Rebecca and didn't look back, telling no one. I fled to the other side of the country to get away from what I saw that night. I moved into an affordable house. Sorry. Inside of a rural town in the countryside, a place where I thought I might be safe. But didn't end there. Oh? What? That's kind of cool. That was a neat little video effect. I like that. Rebecca did not seem convinced of my rejection. It would not relent in its advances. I couldn't go on living like this. It would follow me to my last breath. Oh, that's creepy. So that's ending 3. That's the kill yourself ending. All right, so I'm halfway done with the endings already. So is there a different one for like take the knife then run? Let's try that one. So interesting. What does it want? All right, let's go with the knife and then reject her. Or there's knife and accept. Can I skip the scenes? I can't skip the scenes, so we have to watch. Okay, so there's 6 different endings. So I'm wondering, like, what I have to change to get the other 3 endings. Alright, so we got the knife. She defend, she attack, and she never look back. She defend, she parry, she kill with no carry. So don't knife her. So So let's reject. Now that's the same one. All right. So I'm gonna reload the game really quick. So now we have to... Something we did... early on in playing... changed something. Let's load... What do you guys think? Should we do all 6 endings? What do you guys think? There was the don't do it choice either. Was there? All right. And here, let's go back to the beginning. Let's ignore everything. Like, nope, it's fine. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I enjoyed this a lot, though. I thought it was really well done. Oh, no. It's not going. There we go. Yep, okay. There's the bathtub. What are we doing? Also, let's realize something. This is fucking off. There we go. All right, let's leave it. I'm assuming now it's loading like a different movie. So, how's it going, everybody? How you doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, how horny are you? Sorry. I'm basically as horny as a person that would just sleep with a ghost that stayed in their house that would kill you 11 months later. That's where I'm at now these days. Oh, Alex. So how long should I wait here on this? Oh, haha! Yeah, there we go. I was about to give up. There's TV.
Let me die. Let me die.
The brain that wouldn't die. Actually, like, just watch this movie. Like, is that why it takes so long to load? Because, like, there's an actual movie it's loading in. Yeah, this is the actual movie. All right, so let's... How do I... Next. Films. Is there a way to, like, burst through this really quick? Because I might just leave it at... the... Next. I might just leave it at, like, the 3 endings so far. 'Cause I don't know if I give a shit enough about this. Like, I've enjoyed this thoroughly, but man, I'm ready. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, just read this book. All right. I like all the pictures it had in it. I feel so much smarter now.
No book. Nope, already did this one. Yeah, there's a story. All right, now... Leave. I'm gonna try to get one more ending. And then if it seems like I'm like in a bad spot to get more endings, then I think I'm gonna stop after that. Wouldn't I do a ghost? Not really. Because I don't think the... So, no, I'm not gonna even want to finish that joke. Not even gonna do it. I'm trying to skip this as fast as I can. My boss wants me to work again. God damn it. This sucks. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, it might be time to move on to Jackbox or something, because I don't know if I can get another ending out of this without me losing my fucking mind. Usually, point-click games have like a... or like FMV games. If you hit escape, then you can skip to like the next like click point. All right, so what I did with this, it was I drained it, right? Isn't that what I did? I think I drained it. Don't call. Let's just ignore it. It's fine. It's fine. But who was phone? I still think the ghost titties are the funniest thing in the game. I love that the ghost had enough forethought to wrap itself in a fucking towel. Or like put a little shift on. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this game.